Have you ever played MvM and struggled to finish a mission? Been matched up with some gamers weighing the team down and you've had to do all the work yourself? Ever thought that, wow, I could probably do this by myself? Well, some people have done exactly that. Almost. Recently, two avid MvM players, Brutal Pizza and Mike the Camel, have managed to finish the entire tour of 2 cities with just the pair of them. While the tour has been completed before with just 3 players, and a couple of missions have been done before with just the 2, this was the first time that a whole tour had been done by a pair. I spoke to both of them about how they did it, what their plans are next, and the history and community of low man runs in MvM. First of all, congrats on the runs and completing the whole tour together. Out of the whole of the 2 cities tour, which mission proved to be the most difficult for you guys?
It was Hamlet's. Who would have known Hamlet's? Things like Hamlet's the lowest credits you get at the start. And you notice how on the first wave people really failed it. Like how you got the projectile spam and then you got the mini crits at the end. It's that kind of stuff that made it really difficult to do. But I think before that it would have been Metro. The thing is, we could have had Metro first try, but Peter's power line adapter went, and we couldn't get it. So it was, I think it was at the end of Wave 5 Metro.
The last giant combo.
Yeah, and then he DC'd.
So you were beaten by an internet crash, basically.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because we never tried Wave 6 Metro with 2 people. We just knew what we were going to do, and we did it first try anyway, with the Wave 6, after we did Wave 5 successfully, with no fails. So it was a bit of a shame, but what you going to do? But with Hamlet is just the tank ways in general for the low mans make it really difficult. Because some classes you just can't play out. Like tank, for the tank, you got sniper, but the problem is, usually for the advanced and expert missions, tanks have just too much health for a carbine sniper to do. So we usually have to stick with Pyro, because Pyro is the cheapest tank killer.
Yeah, that's also why we had a Beggar Soldier as well, because if the Pyro fails or needs to kill bots, you can fill in for the damage as well.
But I would like to also mention, obviously we did 2 cities because it was, for us, I guess it's easier for us because we've done thousands of tours. I think we probably got 3,000 tours in total together now.
Yeah.
Just for 2 cities. So for someone who's like really good and has done mostly mecha, they might have more difficulty with those missions. Which is why we did the 2 of them.
Yeah.
But also, just as a general note, because of these 2 mans, it just kind of proves how much flexibility there is with MvM when it comes to not needing the meta to consistently do these missions. It mostly just regards to where your sources of damage have come from, wave knowledge, and how to upgrade correctly. Like with random loadouts, if you know what to upgrade, usually you don't fail, even if you got like, I don't know, a class loadout comprised of a pain train, a sticky jumper, and a booties. You'll do some damage, but you're not going to fail. And also class stacking and carrying potential, like one person has a lot of carrying potential, which is the reason why these 2 mans are a thing. It's just these missions, like even though it's 6 people, if 2 really good people can do the majority of the missions. Some way harder than usual, like usually the more money we have at the start, the more successful it can be, because there's more flexibility with more money.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that most of the time in a lot of teams, it's usually 1 or 2 people doing most of the damage.
But yeah, that's, in terms of difficulty, that's what I have to say.
That's really interesting actually, because I did think like tanks would be a big issue for 2 mans, obviously, because you're going to need at least 1 person just focusing that tank, but the money, I don't really sort of come into play. It's obviously Hamlet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the money difficulty. That's a huge issue with low mans.
Well, the thing is with tanks on low mans is usually when you've got a lot of money, Soldier with the beggars does the most DPS, but earlier on Pyro does more, which is why we usually run a Pyro on the tank waves.
I mean, again, it just goes to show that if you guys can finish it with 2 people and not collecting all the money, the whole like kick the scout, he missed $5 meme, like it's pointless. It doesn't matter if you don't get all the money. Like you still got enough upgrades.
Right.
Like my stupid rule set I have is like usually people who complain about that are the people who don't know how to upgrade properly.
yeah, true. I mean, talking about Hamlet hostility, that and Metro, those 2 missions had never been done by just 2 players before. Obviously, Empire Escalation and Bavarian Bot Bash were the 2 others. They had been done by 2 other people before, but all together you did the whole tour, and those 2 were first times sort of in the community. What made it different for you guys? Like, why were you guys successful? Do you think you're just better players at the game? Are you talking about the map knowledge, or were there any kind of strats you learned from looking at other people's gameplay and thought, well, we can improve on that, and that's what we're going to do for our runs?
The Metro.
Starting off, the Bavarian Bot Bash, that was technically your first because we did it with no refunds. Because the previous people did it with refunds.
Ah, okay.
And we had a person spectating us doing the no refunds. He did the refund bit of the Bavarian Bot Bash with the Scout and Soldier. What did he do with DJ Yoshi?
Yeah.
Alright. I mean, we try to separate the categories with no refunds and refunds because obviously refunds is easier and it's got a big difficulty difference between the 2. But yeah, it's possible. Like for the Empire run, we looked on someone else's video, and a few of the strats we didn't agree with. Like using heavy medic combos because crowd control is a pain doing it.
Yeah,
and we tried that a few times and it was really inconsistent trying to do the first wave because usually the second giant salmon comes in and if I don't kill it fast enough crits, we're dead. And there's also the problem, the money. Like how are we going to get the money with a really slow class and a medic that healing that slow class?
Yeah, we found that the sniper NG just worked out so much better on that. For that reason, crowd control and.
You're talking about like sniper NG. I remember watching one of your runs where, you had 1 NG, 1 sniper, then you swapped, soldier, medic. You talked earlier about like needing a pyro for the tanks. What classes across like the entire tour? Which 2 classes do you think were offers the biggest contribution to actually playing the MvM?
Sniper and NG, and soldier and medic. Sniper and NG because you can have the sniper constantly focusing on the crowds and getting most of the money. Medic killing, and engineer because you can pretty easily finish off the giants, especially if the sniper dries them for you.
Dry is actually like useful.
Yeah.
And because you got the dispenser on you constantly, so you don't have to worry about managing your ammo and health.
Yeah, you can just feed that to the sniper.
The engineer also can take the damage as like a damage sponge as well with the Wrangler.
Yeah, distraction.
I mean, we're talking about like non-tank ways here. Like for tank ways, usually it will have a soldier on it. So it'll be either soldier pyro or soldier sniper. It just depends on how much money we have for crits and also how much can you upgrade on the beggars. I think for the variant we had a scout. I think the scout did the majority of the work on the tank with crit canteens. On the first tank on the Bavarian Bot Bash.
Yeah. On wave 2.
Because you had to deal with the soldiers coming in.
Yeah, I can only tickle the tank essentially until it gets in spawn when I need help on it.
It's really interesting because like Beggar's Bazooka Soldier seems to be almost the strongest class in MvM because it has such high DPS with the beggars, and you can actually do damage to tanks as well. So it seems like a safe fallback option.
Yeah, I mean, we're working to our strengths here. Like, usually I go for the hit scans, so scouts and sniper. And Peter's really good with soldier and engineer. And this is why we usually have these combos. Sometimes we have to switch out. It just depends. Like, Peter has trouble counter sniping.
Yeah.
Like, you can manipulate the sniper AI to not shoot you by zigzagging. And also knowing how they aggro as well, how the AI. Especially notice how sometimes the snipers will track you through walls and stay charged. So sometimes you'll go behind the wall for a few seconds, come back out, and then you're dead. It's that kind of thing that makes it really difficult. Especially on, I think, Hamlet, snipers are the worst thing to deal with.
Yeah, if you don't kill those snipers, you're screwed.
So, like, it's not just about this. Like, you've talked, obviously, I think you said you're over 3,000 tours combined between the two of you, and you have that knowledge of, you know, MvM, and obviously you guys are very good at the game, but it comes down to, like, knowing these little miniature technical details, like how to manipulate things like snipers and the movement of the robots and the positioning. So it's not just about being the best mechanical player, but it's also about knowing how to play the actual game mode, knowing each wave, like each
exactly.
And also spy spawns, you can manipulate them as well.
Yeah, you often find that the silliest sounding strats work out in the 2-mans and the low mans in general.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that thing, about the silly strats towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, talking about low mans, you know, this is something that a lot of people probably don't know about in the general TF2 community. Most people just play MvM regularly. But the community for low man is actually a lot larger. Talking about you two guys managed to do 2 cities together for the first time, but there's a lot of other tours, and other people have completed other missions and other tours together in 2-mans before you guys. Have all the tours been cracked? Is anyone sort of are there any really famous low man duos or triples or anything you've done the other tours?
So Mecha Engine's all been 2-manned completely by Lad and Scout Fingers, and it's been previously 3-manned without refunds by a few different people, but the 2-mans have been done. Yeah, Dr. Pope and Not Luminous.
Yeah, these are all.
But for the 2-mans, they have been done with using refunds, because they'll either be near impossible or insanely difficult without using them.
I mean, the problem is like sussing out how people play. Some people play for loots, so they don't care as much about self-improvements as long as they get the missions done. So it does really cut out an out of community who are willing to improve and also willing to do these challenges like speedrunning or low manning with one to 3 people, and even class stacking or just fun runs, making the most out of MvM. Because sometimes, like, because you play so much, you want a different experience. And 2-manning, for example, is one of those experiences. Like, just kept, like, before Peter brought me on finally to play 2-man, I was barely playing MvM anymore because I just didn't feel like I would get much enjoyment anymore out of 2 cities or any mission. I just felt like I'm better off just doing something else in my spare time. But when I got into this, then it really got me going again.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that thing you sort of theory craft and try to work out the best strategies and, you know, learn strats and tactics from other people and see how you can improve on it. And yeah, it's really, really cool to see that there is this sort of subset on the community. I mean, you guys, like we said, got a lot of tours. There's a speedrunning community. Pizza, I know you've got a lot of world records and stuff like that. Do you guys have anything else on the agenda? Like, is something like expert possible to do with two mans, or are there any of the missions that are actually possible to do with just one player, perhaps?
So expert has previously been done as 3-mans with using refunds. All 3 of the missions. Recently, I did a 3-man with Mike and Trickstabber of Cataclysm, which we did it without refunds.
Yeah, it didn't take too long to do. It wasn't, especially when we did all the 2-man real refunds attempts. It did really make it a bit easier to do that.
We're working on 2-man Cataclysm at the moment, which is Call Town Expert, which is going to be very clutch, but it is very possible as well. Decoy, I think, is possible to 2-man, but Manworks, I'm fairly sure, because of Wave 3 and some other stuff, I'm fairly sure it's not possible to 2-man Manworks Expert. But we'll give it a go anyway at some point.
Yeah, it's the normal missions we've been doing, trying to do solo. I've tried to suss out strategies for a few of the ones that haven't been done yet, because I think Scouting is the dose drill. You know what strategy he used for the first few waves? Half to Toichu.
Wow.
Half to Toichu with crits on kill. He managed to do those waves.
It's crazy because it's like a weapon that you would never use in MvM generally, but when you're up against, you got your back to the wall and it's just you, that I guess, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's the health and kill and the crits, because you can basically one-shot all the classes.
Right.
I mean, it just depends on what kind of wave you get. Like, if there's too much rocket spam, usually that method won't work as well, because funny enough, like when you have easy mode soldiers that just randomly shoots, like they track you for a bit, stop, and then shoot, or sometimes will just aim in random directions, like they're completely new to the game. That makes it really difficult to be consistent, because they'll just randomly do splash damage to you and you can't do anything about it. Which is what these normal missions are about, especially with the 1-man village vanguard I did. I got 1 fail on that because one of the pirates decided to shoot themselves and drop money. And seeing as I'm sniper, I have to rely on getting all the kills to get the money. So I suicided to get the money, but it means I failed. So I got a video now with 1 fail.
Because of AI.
Yeah, because of the random AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's RNG, I guess. Like, you just get those moments.
Yeah. Crash Course is probably the next one, because we've sussed out what to do, but Wave 4 and 6 are really annoying to do. Even though I've gotten pretty good at Wave 6. Wave 4, it's just a pain, because this is all about the RNG of the map. Where you got the bomb path, you got the AI, you got how the bots spread out when the bomb has already been picked up, because they'll just randomly start going towards you. And after a certain amount of time, they'll return to the bomb if you kill the bomb.
Yeah, you'll be focusing on that bomb, and you'll get a few bat scouts come up behind you and just kill you, and you'll be messed up higher and have to restart.
The sniper and spy spawning and positioning are another thing as well. Because we noticed on our Coal Town runs is that spies don't consistently spawn. I've noticed that usually you get the 2 spawning just out of sight near you, and then another 2 spawn somewhere else. This is expert. This is not normal mission, but on experts, this is because of Wave 2 spy spawning, which just causes so much hassle, because Pizza struggle with these spy spawns. I mean, I know what you have to try and do to get them to kill themselves, especially if you're like playing engineer. Like you walk towards them, and after a while they'll just undisguise because they're getting. It's just how the AI recognizes a player, like because they think they've been spotted.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
A load of stuff. But Oil Spill and Steel Trap, despite the fact that they're easy missions, it's the way that they've been designed makes them virtually impossible to do 1-man for the majority of them.
I mean, I don't think many people have actually tried to 1-man Oil Spill yet. I don't even know if anyone has.
I've tried sussing out strategy. It's mostly the wave 1 I have to try and get past it. I only managed to get close to one of them, with Engineer. But even then, there's just so much bot spawns at once that you get overwhelmed. There's also the fact that the way that they spawn in is based on time and not bot kills. Because for 2 cities, it's great that some of the bots don't spawn until the previous bots die. So you have like a breather. Like on Wave 3 Hamlet, the first soldier that spawns, nothing else spawns until it dies, which is really handy. Because you got time to collect money or position yourselves. But on the easier missions, because there's fewer stuff to deal with, so the difficulty doesn't get ramped up when you spawn in these extra bots after 10 seconds. Like on the wiki, sometimes it will tell you the correct times.
But it's just so precise, isn't it? Just like, knowing which ones you need to kill and which will like trigger another wave and which ones are timed and stuff like that.
Yeah, like knowing the wave layout is really helpful.
Yeah, this is all about the problem solving in the end. Trying to find out good places to stand. So like there's a few glitch positions, like on Mecha for example, where you stand on a certain piece at the back rock towards the pit. You stand in a certain position, the bots don't attack you. Same with Cold Town. If you stand in 2 certain spots, the bots just don't attack you. Or the melee bots don't track you. They just stand there and watch and die. But yeah.
So I think all the normal ones are probably possible, but very unlikely that you can do the intermediate ones.
With 1 man.
Yeah, with 1 man.
Yeah, just the 400 credit start, which is usually the general amount of money you get on these missions before before Mecha came out, makes it really difficult to get past wave 1.
Oh well, thank you for giving me like a massive insight into the low man community and the stuff that goes behind it. Like it's more than just like 2 people jumping into a server and just having a crack and seeing what they can do. Like the amount of research and knowledge you guys obviously have and put into and the time and the effort. And I'm glad that there is a large community and that you're continuing to try and do even lower challenges and stuff on other tours. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you guys.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks for making this video about us. Maybe we might get some challenges approached.
Hey, you know what? When I started speedrunning, there was nobody doing it, and years later, people are coming along saying I've beaten your record. Maybe this will be the the Kickstarter for 2-man challenges, 2-man speedruns, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Never know.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's always nice to have all these different categories, so you have more to go through.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much again, and hopefully maybe we'll do another video in the future when you crack another challenge. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. The MvM community is so much larger than just grinding for Australians. There are speedruns, low mans, and all sorts of other challenges. I hope you like the insight into this side of the robot destruction in TF2. Take care, and I'll see you next time.